Combat Zone Wrestling's odd couple, the Necro Butcher and Super Dragon, who took it personally when Blackout dropped the ball, as they like to say, or as Chris Hero likes to say, when they wrestled Generation Next just a few months back. Tag Team Champions have arrived. Eddie Kingston, the Joker, and they are looking at a fight between Super Dragon and Necro Butcher. They have never liked either one of them. It's a very odd situation on how this matchup came about. Again, Eddie Kingston dropped the ball, as Chris Hero likes to say, and was pinned by Matt Seidel, representing Team CZW. Hero took it personally, as Hero has assembled his team of Super Dragon and Necro Butcher as they walked into the Lion's Den just a few weeks ago. Right around the corner from this building here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the Guard Armory, and defeated Team Ring of Honor. BJ Whitmer, Adam Pearce, and Samoa Joe. Blackout have never been shy about a fight, and they weren't shy about accepting tonight's challenge. It looks like it's going to be Joker, maybe not. Eddie Kingston, who looks a little bit lighter since the last time we saw the King inside of the ring. Super Dragon, the former CZW World Heavyweight Champion. Necro Butcher, a former co-holder of the CZW World Tag Team Championship. Looks like it's going to be Super Dragon. Eddie Kingston starting out. Eddie Kingston, he's such a prototype. He's such a prototype fighter. You know, he's a guy that will fight whoever is put in front of him. He doesn't care about belts. He cares about money, that's for sure. He will fight whoever is put in front of him. But the man who he wants more than anything, the man that he wants more than anyone, is Chris Hero. And that's something you don't do to Eddie Kingston. You know, back at the Cage of Death, when Super Dragon knocked out Ruckus in the middle of the ring and defeated him for the CZW World Heavyweight Championship, Eddie Kingston had to be restrained in the locker room from going after Super Dragon. And that is a fact. I was back there after the match, and it was not a pretty scene. Single leg takedown. King and Joker have been called out as of late as part of this whole Ring of Honor and CZW war by the Rottweilers in Ring of Honor. Kingston, of course, has never been shy about his feelings about Ring of Honor. Big elbow right into the center of the back. A simple move like that is something that could paralyze you, end your career right there. Kingston working over that arm. Dragon floating over into that chancellery.
Kingston to a side headlock. Dragon was looking to leg scissor him right there. Chris Hero is not in the building. I should point that out now, if I haven't already. The CZW World Tag Team Championship is on the line. Eddie Kingston, a guy that grew up on the streets, fought for everything that he has fought for everything that he's gotten. Eddie Kingston's not a guy you want to play around with. Joker, of course, spent extensive time for 1 year overseas representing our country, seeing battle, seeing things he refuses to talk about. And Necro Butcher, of course, is just a demonic hillbilly. An ankle pick right there from Eddie Kingston. Here comes the Warrior. Joker. Running shoulder tackle takedown. What an interesting pair Joker and Kingston make, because when Joker left to fight overseas, it was his spot in Blackout in which Eddie Kingston took. And instead of saying, you're out for good, and he was out for a little while, they have welcomed him back in with open arms. Robbie Marino conspicuous by his absence. Here comes the demonic hillbilly, Necro Butcher, some reverse knife edge chops. Snapmare. Ooh, what a boot. Excuse me, what a foot. And another. And Lord knows where that foot's been. The advantage, without question, rests with Blackout, as King and Joker have teamed together more often than Necro Butcher and Super Dragon have. Dragon and Butcher had one hell of a fight last month. And it looks like Necro Butcher is picking up where he left off last month. Butcher all over Eddie Kingston. Anybody that follows Combat Zone Wrestling on video knows Eddie Kingston on commentary, never a big fan of Necro Butcher. Necro Butcher scoops him up. Big slam on top of the chair. Super Dragon making his way over. Necro's covering him. No referee. This isn't a false count anywhere matchup. Necro Butcher now holds the chair. Super Dragon and Necro Butcher are working together. I would have to say working together a little better than Blackout are. It seems to me that it's a case of Eddie Kingston has so much on his mind between his feud with Chris Hero, between his loss when he dropped the ball, as some in Combat Zone Wrestling say just a couple of months ago, being called out in other companies. Eddie Kingston just has so much on his mind lately that I think he's having a real hard time focusing in on this matchup. Necro Butcher with a chair. Right on the back of Joker. And that's rib first. And that hurts. Necro Butcher walking around the ring, looking fresh as a daisy. Super Dragon. With chairs. Necro Butcher has turned into a fine representative of combat zone wrestling. I believe he knocked out the tooth of their commissioner. Super Dragon, the stomp. Dragon and King, they've been in the ring together before here in CZW. Necro Butcher walks in. I don't know if King's strap is down or if his tights are just ripped. That's exactly what it is. The tights are ripped. Oh, what a forearm shot. And Kingston just getting beaten down like it's Tournament of Death. Looks like Necro's trying to hook Eddie Kingston in a tree of woe. Super Dragon now with his foot in a bad place. Dragon trying to get the fans behind him, but it's a very weird situation because these fans like Eddie Kingston. They don't want to boo Blackout. Oh, what a slap. You want to wake Kingston up? Slap him around a couple of times. Roaring elbow, and down goes Kingston. Necro Butcher now pulling Kingston up. I don't know if it was by the eye or the nose. Hard to tell from our vantage point. Hurricane Rana off of the top rope. Oh, he was close. We almost had a new tag team champion crowned. Super Dragon trying to get the fans to clap along. This is a psychological ploy that he likes to apply throughout his match. The fans start to get behind Eddie Kingston. Uranagi! Right now, both wrestlers out of it. Eddie Kingston in a lot of trouble. Holding his side, he's absorbed so much punishment in and out of the ring. And notice the little kick that Super Dragon gives to the back of Eddie Kingston's head. Joker comes in, hits the ropes. Oh, what a shot! Right to the nose. Joker, who's very fresh right now. Eddie Kingston in a lot of trouble. He's on the ground. He may be injured. Joker from behind. And what a back headbutt. It's so hard to fight the Necro Butcher because he just feels no pain. He just keeps on coming at you. And Joker on the receiving end of a bunch of right hands. That demonic hillbilly. And down with the knockout punch is the Joker. The fans, not so much cheering against Blackout, but cheering for Necro Butcher. They love him. Necro Butcher, the past Tournament of Death winner. Wait a minute. It looks like, wait a minute, he's got a Ujigatami. He's got it. No, he's trying to extend that elbow. but Necro scissored that bottom rope. Super Dragon up. Eddie Kingston still on the ground, in a lot of pain out there. Super Dragon with a shot to the back. Big forearm shot. Reverse. Up and over. Catches him with a knee. Right to the back of the head. And Joker grabbing his nose. Trying to feel if it was broken or not, maybe from those back headbutts. Big body slam. And now King finally up to his feet, but still, he's bent over in a lot of pain. Shoots him in, barely stand up. Oh, what a Yakuza kick! With a lot of force. Going for a German suplex. Necro rolls to his stomach. Joker picks him up. And now being double teamed. Blackouts. Eddie Kingston has him up maybe for a Death Valley driver. Looks like Joker's going to stomp the back. That's exactly what he's doing. Goes for a diving headbutt. Catches a little bit of the shoulder. No, Necro rolls out of it. And Joker did get all the shoulder there, and I think that may have been the difference. Super Dragon not playing around, has that chair. Eddie Kingston has some kind of an injury out there. Joker in the center of the ring. Maybe setting him up for a Joker driver. A couple of knee strikes. And Necro fighting back. Necro's going for a claw. He's got the claw. And again, Joker trying to go for that Jujigatami right there. Trying to extend the elbow. Necro not near the ropes. Here comes Dragon. Like a house of fire. Gotta stop. We have yet to see Dragon attempt the Psycho Driver. Dragon picking up Joker. Wait a minute, King. Tosses Dragon to the floor. Ooh, what a forearm. And again. And another. Necro not going down. Takes out the knees. King trying for some kind of a Shining Enziguri, maybe? What a lariat. Takes him off of his feet. Too close to the ropes. Bryce Remsburg not doing a very good job keeping order in there. And Dragon now going for a Psycho Driver. Oh, King. But Dragon rolls through and takes King off of his feet. All four wrestlers have absorbed a lot of punishment. I would venture to say that Super Dragon has absorbed the least amount of punishment out of all four. And Super Dragon now going for a Psycho Driver. Tucks underneath. And a backdrop driver. King rolled through. The receiving end of some forearms. Psycho Driver! And wait a minute, crucifix roll up! Talk about seizing an opportunity.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are our winners, and still CZW World Tag Team Champions, the King of Legends, Eddie Kingston and Joker!
Necro Butcher with a sign of respect right there. Standing black out their belts.
Crowd on their feet for something. Dragon now going after a fan. He's got some attitude problems. The Ring of Honor fans, well, I don't blame them. No, we don't play games around here.